Hi, boys and girls. Well, there's one thing that we have in common with literally everybody on the planet and everybody in our classroom who is moving and walking around. And that one thing is we're alive. And one thing we want to know is, well, what's alive? What does it mean to be alive? And how can we tell if something is alive or if something is not alive? Something is living or not living? Well, this book is going to give us some clues about the things we see around us and whether it's living or not living, alive or not alive. So let's take a look at what's alive. Oh, and I see a question mark, so I know this is an asking sentence, and it also has an asking word. What's? What's Alive by Kathleen Widner-Zoldfield, and it's illustrated by Nadine Bernard Westcott. So let's take a look and find out how we can tell what's alive and what's not alive. What's alive? Are you like a cat? You don't look like a cat. A cat is furry. It has a long tail and 4 legs. You have 2 legs and no fur. But you can run and jump like a cat. Maybe we might not be able to jump quite as high as a cat, but we can definitely jump. Are you like a flower or a tree? You don't look like a flower or a tree. A tree is tall. Its green leaves grow high up in the air, and its roots go down deep underground. A flower can have petals of pink or yellow or red. You have no petals, and you won't grow as tall as a tree, but like a flower in a tree, you are growing, which is something we just read about in our book of Do You Know Which Ones Will Grow? And we've sort of figured out that there were some things that were the same. Are you like a bird? You don't look like a bird. A bird flies on feathered wings. You have no feathers and cannot fly. But a bird, a flower, a cat, a tree, and you are all alike in one important way. You are all alive. Many things are not alive. A stone is not alive. Your tricycle, a book, the swing set, a doll. None of those things are alive. Do you know how to tell if something is living or not? All living things are alike in certain ways. All living things need water and food and air. Living things use water and food and air to give them energy. They need this energy to grow and move. So that's definitely something that all living things share. They grow and they move. But not a tree, Mrs. Clapp. Well, actually, it kind of does. Think about when it sways in the breeze. Yeah. When a cat is born, it is small. It is called a kitten. A kitten gets food from its mother. As the kitten grows bigger, it begins to lap up water and nibble on food from a bowl. It breathes air in and out through its nose. The kitten is alive and growing. Kittens and cats need food, water, and air to give them energy so they can run and jump and play. A baby bird hatches from an egg. It is called a chick. The chick's mother and father feed it. It breathes air in and out through small holes in its beak. The chick is alive and growing. Chicks and birds use the energy from food and water and air to fly or hop along the ground. Birds and cats are animals. You are an animal too. All animals are living things. Trees and flowers are also living things, but they are not animals. Trees and flowers are living things called plants. Plants cannot run or jump or fly. They do not eat or drink or breathe the same way you do or the way a cat does. But they do need water, air, and food, and they can move and grow. Trees and flowers begin as seeds. When they are still small, trees and flowers are called seedlings. The seedlings grow roots. Roots take in water and nutrients from the soil. The seedlings grow leaves. Leaves help plants to breathe in a special way. If you look at the underside of the leaf with a magnifying glass, you will see tiny holes. Plants take in air through those tiny holes. We learned about that in our leaf unit back in the fall. That was a long time ago. Hopefully you still remember where to find that information on that wrinkle in your brain. Green leaves also help plants to catch sunlight. Plants use the power of sunlight to make food out of air, water, and nutrients from the soil. Plants use the food they make to give them energy. The energy helps them move. They do not run or jump, but they grow and grow. They bend their stems and leaves to follow the sun. So that's why Mrs. Clapp asks you not to pull the leaves off the trees out on the playground, because that tree needs them in order to get its food so that it can grow and move and also provide us with oxygen. So please leave the leaves on the tree. Certainly use the leaves off the ground, but not the ones on the tree. All animals and all plants are living things. Anything that never needs food, never needs water or air is not a living thing. Now, you can go exploring. Walk through your house slowly, even through your backyard or the park. Look carefully at everything you see. Draw pictures of each different thing. Draw a picture of each of the different things that you see out on your walk. When you're finished exploring, look at your pictures and see if you can tell which are living things and which are non-living things. For each picture, ask yourself these questions. Does this thing need food? Does it need water? Does it need air? Can it grow or move all by itself? If the answer to the questions is yes, then that is a living thing. So she's drawn her pictures and she's sorting them into living and not living based on the questions she asked herself. But what if you find a plant that is brown and dry? It will not grow anymore. It cannot take in water or air. It cannot move except to blow in the wind. Is that a living thing? What if you find a little bird that has fallen from a tree? It lies very still on the ground. The little bird will never move again. It will not eat or grow again. Is the little bird a living thing? The dry plant and the little bird are living things that have died. All living things eventually die. That is an important part of being a living thing. A stone or other non-living things can never eat or grow. It can never run, jump, and play. A non-living thing cannot die because it's never been alive. When you've looked through your pictures, try sorting them into piles of living things and non-living things. Then separate the pictures of living things into piles for plants and animals. You can hang the pictures on your wall or a bulletin board. Whenever you find anything new, you can ask yourself, does it need food? Does it need water? Does it need air? Can it grow or move all by itself? Then you can add its picture to your collection. There she is sorting her items by living and non-living, and then by plant or animal. And when something dies, we call it once living. It used to be living, and it's not anymore, so now we call it once living. You can always be able to tell what's alive and what's not. We'll be able to base it off those questions that we asked ourselves. Does it need water? Does it need air? Does it need food? Can it grow and move on its own? So think about those questions when you're going to work on your next assignment.